Alright, so I'm gonna do a tutorial for you guys, and basically it's understanding the chess.com analysis tool. So I played a chess game, and in the game I was black, so it looks like this. I'm gonna flip the board because I think this is the easiest way to understand it. So the chessboard has positions. So the positions are for all these columns, it's letters, and all the rows, it's numbers. So the columns go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And the rows go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So now we've established all the position names on the board. So this would be E5. This would be F6, okay? So I'm new to this, so anyways, so when you click on the analysis tool, it calculates analysis, and then it gives you a bunch of numbers and letters and whatnot. So the number 1 period means white is moving to E4. So all these 1 period, 2 period, 3 period, 4 period, 5 period, they're all white moving from one place to the next. Now, if you click NF6, it's saying knight is moving to F6. So you always have to read from the white's perspective. The positions are all from the white's perspective. So N is actually knight. They didn't use K because the king stands for K. This is all like I just kind of figured this out on my own, but it's really not that hard to figure out. I'm sure this is the reason they didn't use a K for this knight. They just called it a N because they couldn't use the K, and the K stands for king, and I guess the king is most important. So anyways, so N F6. So the knight moved to F6. It doesn't actually say which knight moves to F6, but you know that it's this one because there's two knights, right? It says knight moves to F6. It couldn't have been this knight. He like cannot it, like just I guess like according to the rules of chess, he's not able to do that. So yeah, so it has to be this knight. Okay? So then it says knight c3 and c is over here, right? 3 is over here, right? So it's got to be this knight. That's the second move. That's white's second move. Then it says c6. That's a pawn because there's no letter beside it. And that's my response. So c6 is c6. So that's actually one of my favorite moves. Then it says the white move to bc4. So clearly that's bishop. So I'm sure, I mean, like I can explain it right now, but this is the rook, this is the bishop, that's the knight, that's the queen, that's the king, and these are the pawns. Okay. I guess the names will change according to the language. I'm not guessing. I'm sure. Um, okay, so let's go through this again. I'm curious to know what is the like. What do they call the rook? Oh, they call it an R. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so everything really makes sense. So so now that you understand that, I want to explain one more thing. So it'll say mistake, and it'll highlight it, and it'll match it. The color will match to the bolded last move. So white made bishop go to c4, and it said, hey, that was a mistake. The best third move was d4. So moving a pawn to d4. And then it shows you, hey, you should have done this, and then it should have responded by doing this. So everything in the brackets is like correct in terms from the perspective of the computer. And then it says inaccuracy. So if I click E6, that was my response. And I guess it was a good response, but it was inaccurate. So I could have had a better response. A better move was D5. So it takes you, says, hey, instead of when he went here, you should have done this, D5. So D is this row, sorry, this column, and d5 is over here. And because there's no letter beside it, that's a pawn. So if I click it, pawn moves up to d5. So it makes sense, right? This is where I was like somewhat confused. Not bishop b3. That's just white moving his bishop to b3. b3 is over here, so he'll move that back, whatever. That I understand. But this one, it was confusing because I don't understand what this f means. It's saying the knight that was at f because it's actually differentiating between the knights. So if I click this is all in like the computer's analysis, okay? So what it thought the best moves were. So it thought that white should have moved the bishop to b3, and then I should have responded by using a knight that was at f. So this guy, he's at f, to d7. And d7 is, I believe it's over here. So if I click that, makes sense. Okay. Again, I'm looking at it from the white's perspective, so it makes a lot more sense. When you're playing as black, it's really, I don't know, I think maybe the analysis, I mean, like, you could just flip it and play as you normally play, but you really have to, like, think backwards. That's just the way it goes. I'm curious to know, okay, so I moved, it's saying the best move would have been a good response to c5, moving the pawn to c5. Then it says 7, if I click 7, it's saying, this means castling. I didn't know that. Now I know. That means castling. And then this guy, the white, d4, does that mean castling? It does mean castling. That's interesting. So I did some castling too. Anything else that I don't understand here? Knight to e2. So e2 is where? It's A, B, C, D, E, 2. So only knight that can move to e2 is this guy. So he didn't need to differentiate, I guess. That's another good point. So, where was that previous move? Where was it? This one. It will differentiate when it has to, because they both could have moved to this point, but to differentiate, they said, hey, it's the knight at f. It's the knight at f. So the knight at f is A, B, C, D, E, F. It's that one. Okay, so that's interesting. Just want to look to see if there's any other confusions. Bishop kills. Oh, this X means there's somebody dying. So like, bishop is gonna kill at f6. So f6. He's probably gonna kill that knight. Yeah, that's what it means. And then it's saying, hey, gx f6. What does that even mean? Gx f6. Let me just guess. So f6 for sure. Where's f6? F6 is f, and then 6 is over here. And then g f6. It's like always like a lowercase. Oh wait. G f6. It's the pawn that was at G. Look, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G f6 kills at f. The G kills at f6. I mean the pawn at G kills at f6. So then it goes on and on and on and on, and now you understand it. Now you understand all this mumbo jumbo. So knight kills at c6. Queen kills at d8. So all this stuff, he eventually resigned, but play may have continued. Obviously it may have continued because you should always continue your games, because you could end up in a stalemate unless you're, you have a life and you don't want to just play chess. But anyways, that's my explanation of this. I thought it was useful because, after a game, you may be like, oh man, why did I lose that game? Where could I have done better? This computer's amazing. And then you could look at your mistakes, look at your blunders, and yeah. Peace out and enjoy. Hope this helps. Take care. Bye bye.